welcome to Fire and Smoke. My name is Rick. Today, as you can see, we've got the Kamado Joe Classic III all lit up. There is a beautiful rack of beef ribs in there. I don't know if I've told you guys, but we bought this Kamado back in somewhere around the September, October time frame. This is probably our 12th cook on the Kamado Joe, and we've just been loving it. And I wanted to start shooting some videos and showing people how we use it. I'm no expert in smoking, just a hobby of mine. And so today we're doing our first ever cook of beef ribs. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while. As I was growing up, I used to go to this restaurant that had really great beef ribs. It always reminded me of that scene in Flintstones when they'd come put the giant rack of ribs on the side of the car and the car would tip over. So we always have been looking for them. And this week at our local grocery, we happened to find a great rack of beef ribs. And so we are smoking it today. Who knows if it's going to come out good or bad? We'll just have to see. But we're taking you along for the ride, whichever way it happens to turn out. So, gonna leave these beef ribs cooking for probably 3 or 4 hours. We're gonna try and get them up to about 175. Then we're gonna wrap them, maybe 185. We'll wrap them. We'll get them up to 195. Then I'm going to break some rules, from what people say about beef ribs, because my history of beef ribs at this restaurant was a beef ribs with sauce on it. So we're going to take it out of the wrap at about 195 degrees, put some sauce on it, and let it finish up till about 200 degrees on the grill open so that we can get that sauce to set nicely on the grill. So let's see how this turns out. Okay, so we're just about 2 hours into this cook. If you remember last time, I had a meat probe problem with the iCommand. I am not cooking with the iCommand today. I do have some new meat probes coming for the iCommand, but kind of wanted to do more of a traditional cook. So we are going to use the old style remote here, put a meat probe in and see where we're at. It is looking good. Meat's pulling away from the bone. Let's see if we can find a spot that we can get a probe in here. And we're just gonna let this go. Looks like a crust is starting to form. And let's get this thing covered back up and keep cooking. Okay, so as we put the meat probe in, we found out that we are right at temp. This thing is already tender. We are gonna skip the wrap. As sometimes happens, things don't go as planned. So we're just using some standard Kansas City style barbecue sauce here. We're gonna sauce these up, and I'm just gonna let it set for about 10 minutes to let this sauce set on there real good. And we will then take them off and let them rest for about an hour. And we have let this rest for an hour. You can kind of see that some of the juices have kind of pulled here on the meat. Now it's time to cut into this and see what we got. So here's what we've got. Nice, juicy. Look at that smoke ring coming through there. Let's take a bite of this and see how it is. Childhood memories rolling back here, everybody. Very juicy. A little bit of crust. We can taste definitely taste the smoke coming through. A little bit of the seasoning that we put on there. Barbecue sauce is nice. Gonna have to try this one at some point if you can find beef ribs in your town.